So I know I might not be the most exciting person to follow on YouTube. I get that. I'm just out here living my life though, and I applaud and appreciate every single one of you who watches my videos. Just FYI, I made a couple eggs with some actual bacon, with some shallots, bell pepper, and some tomato. So, if you've been watching my videos, you kind of know I'm gone low carb. So I'm not eating carbs really at all. I mean, I have, some, but like under 20 grams. And so far, we're doing pretty good. Lost about 10 pounds in a month. So I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Vlog-A-Day number 18. It is Monday, February 5th, 2024. Today, not a lot going on. I've already edited and posted to be, and scheduled to be posted another reaction video. So you can see here, we've got Boza Uncles, which is my first Boza Uncle song. And then we've got a Callejon next week. And today we have Craft Club. Just so you know what's coming up. That's what we got coming up. So I'm going to eat this breakfast, then we can get the day started. Oh, that little egg scramble was quite yummy. I don't buy bacon very often, but I can eat bacon on this diet. So I enjoy it in some eggs. So it's really good. So today is Monday. It's a rainy Monday. So I'm probably not going to be doing much of anything today. I have class at 2. So I'll do that. But unless you think I'm not actually like a scholar or a historian or whatever you want to say, I'm sitting here watching this webcast, I guess, on with Michael Rothberg, Multidirectional Memory and Post-Colonial Studies in Contemporary Germany. So a little bit about what I'm actually studying. So I'm in a master's program of global history that is a joint program between Humboldt University of Berlin and Freie University of Berlin. So I take classes at both campuses and both universities. But what does global history mean? And it means different things to different people. To me, it means taking history out of Europe, or from a different perspective than a Eurocentric perspective. Not necessarily from a non-European perspective, but from a non-white European perspective. So taking maybe the same thing, maybe say taking, I don't know, the Holocaust as a huge example, and thinking about it from a decolonialization perspective, from from an Indian perspective. But what I'm more interested in than like facts and dates of history is in memory studies. I'm far more interested in how people obtain and use memories of things rather than what actually happened. Michael Rothberg wrote a book 20 years ago called Multidirectional Memory. And in it, he basically outlines his conception that memory is not a zero-sum game. And for a long time, it sort of was. So like you remember one thing at the expense of another. So using the Holocaust as an example in the United States, Holocaust is remembered in a lot of places, and a lot of thinkers pre-2000 would think, well, okay, you're remembering the Holocaust at the expense of slavery, at the expense of the genocide of the indigenous people. But Rothberg is saying that these things can coexist. It's not a zero-sum game. Memory isn't finite. You can remember things the same. And in doing so, and in remembering the colonial genocide or in remembering slavery, you're not downgrading the Holocaust. You're not saying the Holocaust was not a uniquely specific event. But what you're saying is these events can be, these things can be remembered without having a hierarchy of victims, which is what kind of happens when you have a zero-sum game. You tend to hierarchize, that a word? you tend to create a hierarchy of victimhood, and that's not good for anybody. So that's what I'm interested in. I'm researching a paper that I'm going to write for my British culture class, my British imperial culture class, that I'm thinking my idea for this paper is to write about the 10th anniversary of the event that happened in 1936 called the Battle of Cable Street, which basically the British Union of Fascists held a march through predominantly Jewish area in London, and there was an amalgamation of groups that came together basically to beat up to stop the parade. So anytime Nazis get punched in the face, I'm okay with that. B, it's interesting because I'm interested in perhaps going to my hypothesis is, let's look at how the press treated the 10th anniversary of this, which would have been 1946. It's been right after the war, or maybe the 20th anniversary. But I'm thinking 10-year anniversary, because 1946 would put the 10th anniversary right after the war, but about a year before Indian independence. So I'm thinking I want to see how the press covered the 10-year anniversary of the Battle of Cable Street versus how they covered the upcoming Indian independence and the strife that was going on in India at the time. So I'm very curious as to what the memory is and what the and how I can apply this idea of collective memory to this time frame. So anyway, that's what I'm doing this morning. Class is at 2. I'll probably get ready. I'll have to go by 1:30. Fortunately, the U6 station is like right in front of the building where the class is. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I wish I could be like one of these content creators that lives in Bali, that goes cliff diving every day or whatever, that travels the world year round, but that's just not me. I'm just a normal American dude living in Berlin, without a bunch of money. So this is what we do. So yeah, I'm going to get on watching this video. It's an hour and 48 minutes. So I want to get this finished before I have to go to class, and then we'll talk soon. It's a gross day. Well, I am off to class. It's just a little windy. It's not super cold. I think it's like 10, but man, it's gross. So didn't do much this morning. I finished watching that hour-and-a-half lecture by Michael Rothberg on multidirectional memory. And it's really given me some things to think about with my work and really what I want to write my thesis on for my master's. I'm out the wrong exit. Supposed to be over there. Oh well. Whatever. All right, just finished class. I always enjoy this British culture and British Empire and the culture class. It's a lot of fun. The professor is this extremely British gentleman. He's just a lot of fun. It's a fun class. There's a lot of undergrads in it, so a lot of high-minded talk. It's fun. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Gonna write a paper in that class. We talked about the paper earlier. We've only got one more class session, and then I've got to have a tutorial with them, figure out what I'm going to write about. But yeah, I think now I'm just going to head home.
Can't think of anything I really want to do. It's kind of chilly and kind of gross, so I think I'm just gonna head home.